Alright, in this video, I'm going to be exposing the mark of the beast. I'm just going to jump right into it. I was having some thoughts. I was going to share them with my mom, who's sitting next to me for one last day. I'm kind of sad she's leaving and kind of glad she's leaving for reasons I've explained in many videos in the past. But I will speak about that more in the future. Speaking of the effect of demons on human beings, even me. But unlike me, most people, they just don't even realize how this works. So they actually are utilized by demons to do stuff, to annoy us. It's really a battle of annoyance. It's a battle of distraction. Like every time I hand my PDF, usually they'll become distracted within 5 seconds by some outside source. Perfect example. I'll pass them the PDF and they'll receive a phone call right away. Or some car will stop next to them and start talking to them. Or a dog will start barking. Or one of their family members will come and distract them. Or the spirit of ADD or some other nonsense will come and take them over. Seriously, it's a straight up war, and when it happens to you hundreds of times, you start to realize what's going on. Because we can't see demons, you wouldn't realize it right away. In fact, I had a friend who was far ahead of me in this field of knowledge, and he told me, like, look, do you realize what's happening? Relevantly, I'm describing the events, how I would go to my friend's place of work in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. because he would work night shifts and I'd stay up studying all night back then. And I'd go and talk to him 3 in the morning at 7-Eleven. He was my friend Cameron. And all of a sudden people would start showing up as if it was 10 a.m. As if it was midday. They would just start showing up and he'd have to go and help them instead of speak with me. And he would tell me, he would laugh. He'd say, do you know what's going on? I said, what do you mean? He's like, don't you see what's happening? I'm like, no. He's like, every time you come here, Satan sends people here to distract us. Every time. I'm like, I laughed because I wasn't aware. So imagine what people who aren't aware about anything would think if they heard a video like this. They'd think I'm crazy, which is hilarious because most of these people on earth are all Christians who supposedly believe in the Bible, but don't even understand how demons work and actually don't even believe in that kind of thing anymore. Most of them don't even believe in hellfire or judgment day anymore, which is crazy. It's what Christ's whole ministry was about. Hellfire, judgment day, and demons. That's basically all his ministry was. So, using that as a perfect link to the actual topic at hand that I have now postponed for 3 minutes for your benefit, whoever out there, hopefully. I was thinking how ironic it is that they're just passing out the mark of the beast and that it's not even forced. It's just an option to sacrifice your soul to Satan forever. The elite are laughing their bums off. This is the mark of the beast right here. Yep, right here. It's just an offer, like, hey, you want to take the mark? Here it is. You want to take the mark? No problem. Here, take the mark. I think that's hilarious. I also think it's hilarious that the Bible says, this is what I wanted to show, when they say peace and safety, KJV, I'm going to show you many scriptures that show you exactly what's going on. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Let's look it up. Okay. Here it is. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, when they shall say, what? When they shall say peace and safety. There's websites out there that say that this thing is the Messiah. It's our only hope, they're saying. It's peace and safety, get it? When they shall say peace and safety, you see the dog, demonic, trying to distract me. All types of stuff to distract, every time. I notice it. I was even fighting my righteous brother who understood this before I did. He's like, bro, you realize what's going on? I'm like, nah, I don't believe that. See how far I've come? Then sudden destruction cometh upon them. See, what is it describing? Everyone who takes this is actually going to be destroyed. There will be persecution for those who don't, but those who do will be destroyed anyways. And in fact, they will come for for those of us who don't take it. All we have to do is make it for like a year, and then they will be destroyed anyways. Then there will be no one coming for us. Seriously. You only have to make it for like a year. What do I mean they'll be destroyed? I mean, when they turn on 5G, these people will break out in boils from the high-level nanoparticles and metal particulates within their body. Plus, there's actually some stuff in there which literally turns your body into basically a sacrificial offering to 5G. It bonds to a certain chemical in your body, a certain, process, some type of copper aluminite or some strange term, and this thing in here, this technology, it links to this part or process in your body, and when 5G turns on, it will liquefy that certain part or process or chemical in your body. It will just liquefy it. This is what it's talking about. Here, I'll show you. Grievous sores. Mark. That's all I have to... Oh, I forgot to add sores. Grievous sores, mark. Here it is. When the first angel emptied his bowl onto the earth, grievous sores broke out on those who had the mark of the beast. Interesting. So, for those of you who were smart enough to have emailed me for my PDF, there was actually 100 of you. And now it's traveled across the earth, which is exactly what I was hoping for without even hoping for it. 3 months ago, I passed out my first PDF in person, and I told myself, and even told the Most High, I said, look, this is ridiculous. I can't do this on my own. So we had 100 people email me to receive it, so they would be doing it in all their own respective countries. I counted more than 10 different countries. They told me where they were from. And I made an email list and sent you all a link to a video which exposes the entire agenda. And this one person, this one scene in the video, the guy went in and grabbed one of these things. He said he said he wanted to be this thing here. And when they handed it to him, he just took it and just walked out, ran away. And he went home and did tests. He was like some type of scientist or something. An at-home independent researcher and scientist who could do studies with the microscope and test stuff in like a homemade lab or whatever. I don't know how all that works, because that's funny, because people think that the scientists out there that you hear about on the news are like independent, but they're all Illuminati contractees working for the devil, literally. They never do anything for man. They tell you, oh, science is great steps for man. No, it's actually against man. So it was interesting to hear about this guy who actually went and did this and did studies on his own, an independent guy exposing the beast. And he said, holy shit, about what he found. I don't even remember, it's too scientific and deep, but he's like, this thing has a thing exactly as I suspected. I forget exactly how to describe it any more than I already did 3 minutes ago. But that's what this verse means, the one I just showed. Read it again, Revelation 16, verse 2. Grievous sores broke out on those who had the mark of the beast. So this guy is like, that's exactly how this is going to happen. I don't even know if he connected the dots to this verse or not. He must have, though, because everything in the book of Revelation is understandable now, for the first time ever, through the modern technology. So that's why grievous sores break out on them when they turn on the 5G towers. Because there's some highly advanced stuff that's inside of both your body and the mark, and they link together and make you susceptible and vulnerable to this high-level frequency attack, and you basically will be destroyed. Yes. When they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. Get it? It's not complicated. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others. I've actually fulfilled that literally. Past week, I've slept like 4 hours a night doing the work online, spreading the message, editing my PDF a little more, making it absolutely as perfect as I can make it, being worthy of being denoted as the third angel spoken about in Revelation 14, verse 9 through 11. It's not a literal angel. I'm not a literal angel, but I represent the movement that the angel represents because it's not literal. Get it? Loud angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man takes the mark of the beast, blah, 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 then he'll burn in hell forever. Smoke of the torment ascendeth forever and ever. Yes, I'm doing that. What are you doing? Let's get a few more scriptures. Which one should I choose? Oh, I know. Christ said, as in the days of Noah. What does it mean? You should know what it means. It's very important. Most of you don't, though. It's pretty sad. As the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. What does that mean? Well, if you do any research at all, you'll find out that in the days of Noah, everything was being genetically manipulated and modified. The plants, the animals, the bees, and then even the human beings. Both the offspring or product of fallen angels having sex with human women and the resulting hybridized offspring known as Nephilim or giants, as well as scientific laboratory creations, human beings modified in the lab and all that, like they're doing today. It's the days of Noah. They give you a little phone and tell you it's the next greatest technological leap in mankind while they're playing with nano and particle accelerators and frequency weapons. Uh, what do they call it? Focused energy weapons, like in Lebanon, Beirut, where they just blew up a building with a laser that you can't even see. Get it? What else are they playing with? Nanotechnology, CRISPR gene editing. That's what they're dealing with. And you're dealing with the latest iPhone, which is listening to you because SMART is an acronym for Secret Militarized Armaments in Residential Technology or even Territory. Get it? You have been deceived and you're a clown. I'm not a clown and I have not been deceived. And I'm not jesting against those of you of my loyal subscribers who use your brain like me and understand everything I say and where I'm coming from. I'm jesting and making fun of all the stupid people, some of which might actually watch this video. Maybe you'll be shook out of your stupor. That would be the hope. Of course, I would be battling against God. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10 through 12. What does it say? And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. The word truth means God's laws. Psalms 119 verse 142 tells you that. So God will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe lies, the spirit of strong delusion, in order that they all might be condemned who did not have pleasure in the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Unrighteousness means breaking God's laws. You can even interpret the word truth literally. They don't even have pleasure in the literal truth, let alone God's laws, which are the truth, according to the Bible. They don't have pleasure in that stuff like I do. How can you not have pleasure in this stuff? It's the most pleasurable thing on earth. I'm like the only person on earth who's not depressed. Which is funny because you would think I am depressed, but that's not depression. I'm content. They're not content. I'm happy. Only my happiness is inward, not outward. I'm not going around smiling and laughing and acting a fool and a clown and joking and partying. No, that's not happiness. That's demonic. The Bible even tells you everyone who does those things is going straight to hell on Judgment Day. It's called revelry. Revelations 21 verse 8. I have something else. It's called contentedness. I'm happy inside of me, even in this ridiculously dark time that only I can see. Which is why I made this video. It's ironic that these people are all taking the mark of the beast, even though Christ gave plenty of warnings. When they say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come. Of course, no wonder they don't take the Bible or its warning seriously. They don't even take Christ seriously. Why? Because they believe in a fake homosexual hippie white Jesus that loves everybody. How could you take anything he says seriously? I couldn't. I'm like, what? Go and sin no more? This guy is going to act like he has the authority to tell me what to do? That's how they all view Christ. They're like, Christ, he's just desperate for followers. Just pretend you love him or whatever. Just say you love him. Suffer the shame, public disgrace, and humility of pretending that you love Jesus or believe in Jesus. And then you're going to come in. That's how you enter the kingdom of heaven. Just suffer the shame of being a Jesus freak. That's what they believe. But that's complete garbage, because you're not going in the kingdom by saying you believe. In fact, you probably can't even enter the kingdom of heaven if you believe Christ is white, because you'll be shocked that he's black, not white. You'll be like, nah. You'll realize the whole kingdom of heaven is literally for black and brown people, the real Israelites. Which is hilarious, because most of the white Christians on earth are all racist. They don't have a chance of coming into the kingdom, and that's the worst example of why. Because the real reason, of course, at that point, God is like, you know what? We don't even need to open the books. Let's just ask ourselves, are they a silly fool? If the answer is yes, they're not coming in. It doesn't even matter if they're racist, or if they didn't keep the laws, or if they didn't do any work for the kingdom, or if they just sat down and believed. Let's just ask, did they use their brain on the earth? Yes or no? It'll be an instant judgment. In fact, God has already judged most people on the earth in a very negative way. They're already damned. According to John 3:18-21, they're already damned. Their judgment has already been decided. Is that to say they can do nothing to gain God's favor again? Well, it sure doesn't look that way. It sure looks grim. Because in the Bible, you read about many people who the Most High has sworn off. It's like he's done with them even though they're still alive. Christianity tells you that that's an impossibility. They basically try to limit God. They'll tell you stuff like God is love, blah, 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 even though God is a God of war and wrath and revenge and a little bit of love towards those who love him. According to 1 John 5:3, this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. So everyone who thinks they love God actually doesn't. Fulfilling 1 John 2:4, if anyone says he knows God and doesn't keep his commandments, he's a liar. So everyone who says they loves God is a liar. And the truth ain't not in him, isn't in him, ain't in him. Get it? The word truth once again means God's laws. See how it all connects full circle? Bunch of liars. God's going to be like, are they liars? They're not coming in the kingdom. Even Revelation 21:8 tells you that. These people are in seriously deep trouble. And I don't say this as someone who's sure of his salvation. You can't be. Even Paul told you that. He said, make sure of your salvation. Work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Christ said, he that shall endure until the end. Two keywords there. He that shall endure. You know what endure means? It's action. It's keeping God's commandments, doing the work, fulfilling your purpose until the end. It doesn't mean sitting and believing. You're silly if you believe that. Furthermore, something else you notice from the Bible is that everyone in the Bible had a purpose, and they actually either fulfilled it or did not. And if they didn't fulfill it, the outlook didn't look too good for them. Because God expects you to fulfill your purpose. He expects me to fulfill my purpose. We have a high level of responsibility on us, which is something you're never told or taught in Christian church. You gotta wonder why, unless you're a silly idiot. If you don't know that Satanists rule the world and created these stupid religions to teach you all manner of deception, then you wouldn't know the answer. The reason they don't teach you anything is because they don't want you to know anything, especially about God and his kingdom. Because why? Because they worship Satan, and that's his main requirement for them, to teach people to sin and teach people anything except the truth. All manner of religions, but no truth. The Bible is not a religion, and none of these religions express or represent or even teach the Bible at all. They all pretend they do, but none of them do at all. And these people actually cannot understand that. Someone was like, the Bible? I'm like, yeah, the Bible. They're like, what religion are you? Oh, I'm not a religion. Religion is a sin. Huh? What? They wanted to get in an argument between their religion versus mine, which is hilarious because the people in the same sect don't even agree with one another. There's like a trillion sects of Christianity and other silly religions. And the people in the same church building on the same Sunday at the same location don't even agree with one another. These people all have the spirit of strong delusion, stupor, and dumbness on them. It's a spirit. They're actually done. They are the living damned. God hates religion. Religion is a bunch of lies. They don't teach the Bible correctly at all. They're all based on the false interpretation of Paul's letters. The fact is that you're saved by works through grace. Unless you have the works, you're not getting any grace. They pretend like grace is a free gift. That's not what it means. The ability to receive grace is a free gift. Actually receiving it is a whole nother story. Christ's sacrifice was a free gift, but having that ability that he gained, the legal precedent that he set applied to your case on Judgment Day, that's a whole nother story. It's yet to be seen. It's decided upon whether you kept his doctrine, whether you paid him his legal fees. What are his legal fees? That you did what he told you to do. That's what it means to believe in Christ. It means to obey what he said. It doesn't mean you believe he existed. You've been deceived by a westernized, silly Greek Roman mindset and pagan Christianity working together in conjunction to steal your soul from out from under you. That'll be it for now. Shalom.